Welcome to Bennett's BikeSocial Homeschooling. In this episode, we're going to look at planning our first touring trip or big adventure. Now, many of you will associate adventures and touring around going around Europe or even further afield. But when I was 16, my first touring trip was on a DT50 to Bridlington. We stayed overnight and came back and we camped out. An adventure is what you make of it. You don't have to go around the world and you don't have to camp. Do what you feel comfortable with, especially if you're new to motorcycling and this is your first trip. So first of all, we're going to look at luggage and the options that you have. So you've got hard luggage, soft luggage, tank bags, rear racks, backpacks, there's roll bags, there's many combinations. Let's first look at hard luggage. So we've got hard luggage panniers and we've got hard luggage in the form of this top box from Honda, which comes on the 500X. The advantage of the hard luggage is it keeps everything safe and dry. You can lock it so you've got good security. Then we're going to look at soft luggage. Soft luggage can be throw-over panniers, it can be a roll bag. This is generally luggage that is made from a material which you then have to bungee or strap or connect in some way to the back of your bike. Tank bags. As you can see from the 500, with it placed on the tank, this bag can extend in height. Some are connected with magnets if you have a metal tank, some have straps, and some have a surface skin that connects to another skin, which is like a bag lux system. There's many different options and many different sizes, and these can go on sports bikes, touring bikes, any kind of genre, really. We have rear racks. If you can notice again on the 500X, we've got a rear rack where we would normally fit the hard luggage. But if we don't want to fit hard luggage, we can put some bags on the back there, get them safely bungeed on, make sure they're secure and safe. We can also use tail packs, which is similar to the tank bag, goes towards the rear of the motorcycle. If you're riding on your own, you can put this on the pillion seat, or again, you can put it on the rack. And then finally, there's a huge combination of rucksacks. So that's the little sporty rucksack that I have from Alpine Stars. Again, we've mentioned this in previous videos. The advantage of rucksacks is you've got the security, you've got it with you, but the disadvantage is it can cause drag, which if you remember from a previous video, can affect the stability and the comfort of your motorcycle. So what luggage should we use and how should we pack it? It all depends on the trip, how far you're going, and how comfortable you feel with that luggage. Some people only will pack hard luggage because they like the security and it keeps everything warm and dry. Some people on a naked bike will just go with a tank bag because that takes some away of the wind blast. And again, you have to think about security. With hard luggage, you can leave your motorcycle and everything is lockable. So you can leave some valuables in there. If you've got soft luggage which only has zips, obviously people can open the zip and get to your valuables. If you're abroad, that might be your passport, your wallet or other documents. So think about where you're going before you think of your luggage. Personally, I would carry my wallet, phone, passport and secure valuables on my person, whether that's in my backpack or actually within my jacket. So we're just going to briefly look at the advantages and disadvantages of different luggage and how you should put that on your bike. Tank bags are great. Personally, I really like tank bags, especially when you're abroad because you can have your wallet and your passport and everything for peages and toll booths, easy access. Disadvantage of a tank bag is it can become a bit of a pain every time you're filling up. So if you've got a small tank range and a really heavy tank bag, it can become a pain. Also, when you are fitting a tank bag, make sure you can obviously see your clocks and make sure you've got easy access to your handlebars and switchgear, etc. When you're fitting luggage to the rear, it is advisable to pack your luggage when it's not on the bike, then add it to the bike. But if you're adding a roll pack or anything to the rear, luckily on Honda's 500X, there's lots of bungee hooks and little hooks that we can use to bungee our luggage onto. But if you're going to take a pillion, remember to put the pillion on, then put some luggage on. I've made this mistake before where I've put loads of luggage on the back and the pillion seat ends up being about that big and they can't fit on correctly. Again, Try and avoid looping straps under, use the correct bungee hooks, follow the instructions if you're using soft luggage. Sometimes you have to lift up the seat and the luggage straps go under the seat and you put the seat back on. If it's your first time putting luggage on a bike or you're pretty new to motorcycling, get everything on the bike, including your pillion if you're going for a pillion ride. Have a short ride to make sure everything feels secure and safe. Make sure you can get it off the side stand. Make sure it's not too weighty, not too heavy. Don't be too ambitious. And then you're ready for your touring trip. Again, I still do this after about 5 or 6 miles. I'll just pull over and have a quick check once everything's settled down. Once the wind started blasting onto the luggage, once the straps have become slightly loose where I've tied them over twice. Again, avoid covering your number plate, brake light, indicators. That is an offence. So now we know what luggage combinations we have, we need to start planning our trip. So for your first time adventure or your first time tour, I would advise on just going for 1 or 2 days and staying at a bed and breakfast or a hotel. Keeps everything simple, straightforward and easy. Don't try and run before you can walk. If you're staying in accommodation, then really all you need is some change of clothes, your toiletries, and some changeable bike kit. For me, if I was going for a 1 or 2 days touring, especially in summer, I would take a spare pair of gloves, some throwover waterproofs, and maybe a different neck tube or a buff, that type of material. Apart from that, that's it. You don't need multiple jackets or multiple jeans or a different crash helmet. The kit that you've bought should be able to do everything. In terms of your clothing, again, try and pack your clothing so it's balanced left and right, and try and keep your bike kit away from your actual clothes that you're going to wear, like your jeans, your t-shirt, your shirt, whatever that may be. This is because when it rains, you will throw on your rain jacket or maybe your rain gloves and they'll be wet when you put them back in your luggage. And you don't want to put your wet rain suit on top of your nice clean clothes. So again, personally for me, I would keep my motorcycling, my waterproofs, my neck tube and gloves in a rucksack or a tank bag, and have my clean clothes or a clean bag as a tail pack or somewhere towards the rear of the motorcycle. So we've mentioned security of your luggage. Where you're going to put your valuables, will it be secure? Are you going to take it with you when you leave your motorcycle and go into a coffee shop or a pub or a restaurant? What you also need to think about is where your bike is going to be parked in the evening. If you're staying in a B&B or a hotel, contact the hotel. Do they have a garage? Do they have safe, secure parking? There's a lot of motorcycle-friendly hotels out there who will have safe and secure parking, and some even provide locks or small garages. If they don't have that, then I would advise to park in somewhere visible where there's security cameras. And I would also advise to take either a chain or a disc lock so there's some form of security on your motorcycle. Next up is where you're going to go. Again, if it's your first trip, I would advise on going somewhere where you know, somewhere reasonably familiar. So you've decided on what luggage you're taking, what combination that is. You've packed everything and you know where your clean kit is going, where your motorcycle kit is going, and you've made a decision on your security. Next, you're going to look at maintenance. And I see this happening all the time, and it's a big mistake. People carry spare levers and spare parts, and then they carry loads of tools, but they don't actually know how to fit those parts to the bike if it does fall over and it does break. Really, at best, you need a punch and repair kit, but only take one if you know how to use it. There's no point having it if you don't know how to use it. You're better off investing with a really good battery, a really good phone, and some good recovery. Simple. Keep it easy, and there's less weight. So now you've got everything, you've planned, you've packed, and you've done everything. Before you go on your journey, put it all on your bike and just go for a simple test ride. Again, I've seen this so many times, especially when going to the Isle of Man, that they've got so much kit on their bike, they can't get it off the side stand. And when they go up the ramp, they fall over left or right. So before you actually go on your motorcycle journey on your first tour, just pack everything, even if it's just newspaper, to see where the bulk is, to see where the weight is. And just go for a simple 10-mile ride. Make sure there's no straps going over the number plate, nothing's catching, you feel comfortable, the tank bag's not in your way, you've got full steering lock and everything is safe and secure. I still do this now. I've been touring for over 20 years and I'll still just double check And once I've started my journey, I'll pull over 4 or 5 miles in, have a visual check, make sure everything's okay, and carry on again. Again, if you're new to motorcycling, it's definitely worth doing. Get everything on there, see what the weight feels like, so it's not too intimidating. Depending on the length of your first journey, you may want to do a few bike checks. Check your tyre pressures, check you've got enough tread, your chain, your pads, etc. If you're using your bike regularly and you're only going for 2 days of touring, then it's pretty straightforward. However, if you're going to embark on 4 weeks around Europe and your tyres are getting close to their wear marks, you probably want to change your tyres before you embark on that journey. It's pretty straightforward and pretty obvious. Once you start to appreciate and enjoy touring, which is one of the best aspects of motorcycling, and you start going further afield and you start going into Europe or maybe even further, you need to check your insurance, your recovery, your breakdown, and currency if you're going outside of Europe. Make sure you're covered with your health as well and your health insurance. One of the most important aspects that you need to take away from your first touring trip is to remember not to try running before you can walk. Keep it simple, keep it easy, enjoy it. It's not supposed to be stressful. Think about security, make sure you've got some backup with your recovery and you're insured and you're fully legal. Enjoy a couple of days away and we can build up to something more ambitious in a few months' time.